The Trump administration's mass deportation plan is well underway, with plans to detain hundreds of illegal immigrants daily.
Moments ago, President Donald Trump says he has issued his first tariff on Colombia after 2 U.S. deportation flights of undocumented migrants were not allowed to land in Colombia.
A few moments later.
President Donald Trump is claiming victory after Colombia relented in a standoff over flights carrying deported migrants.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Trump Media. Today we're diving into a complex and rapidly evolving situation involving immigration, international relations, and even a potential trade war. We're talking about the recent tensions between the United States and Colombia over the deportation of migrants. President Trump's administration has taken a hardline stance, threatening tariffs and other measures against Colombia, and things are getting heated. In this video, we'll break down what's happening, why it's happening, and what it could mean for everyone involved. So stick around because this is a story you need to know about. But before we head into the video, if you enjoy videos like these, it will mean a lot if you guys would subscribe and like this video, and of course, share it to the people you know to stay updated. So yeah, let's get started. So, the Trump administration has initiated mass deportations of undocumented immigrants, creating a major point of friction with Colombia. This video breaks down the facts, the political fallout, and the human impact. The US is deporting hundreds daily, focusing on undocumented immigrants. Colombia initially resisted accepting some of these flights, citing concerns about the treatment of deportees and logistical challenges. The administration threatened steep tariffs on Colombian imports, a move with potentially devastating economic consequences for Colombia. This pressure tactic brought the deportation issue to a head. So, here's the clip.
Moments ago, President Donald Trump says he has issued his first tariff on Colombia after 2 U.S. deportation flights of undocumented migrants were not allowed to land in Colombia.
Yeah, Fred, just moments ago, Donald Trump reacting to the news that Colombia had blocked planes carrying undocumented migrants from delivering those individuals back to their home country, and Trump now retaliating with tariffs and threats of more tariffs. He said in a post on social media, quote, "I was just informed that the 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States." So he has then goes on to say that he is taking some action against the Colombian government, including a 25% tariff on goods coming from Colombia immediately, and he's threatening to raise that to up to 50% next week. He also is calling for a travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials, and sanctions on party members and family members that support the Colombian government. So, Fred, this is an early example of how Donald Trump's immigration crackdown is already colliding with his foreign policy and trade proposals, and the first of maybe more to come, Fred.
Faced with the threat of crippling tariffs, Colombia agreed to accept the deportation flights. However, this agreement doesn't resolve the underlying tensions. Concerns remain about the conditions faced by deported individuals. The US has reported over 500 arrests related to the deportations, including individuals described as violent criminals. But reports also suggest the law-abiding immigrants are being targeted. This raises questions about the scope and focus of these operations.
The Trump administration's mass deportation plan is well underway, with plans to detain hundreds of illegal immigrants daily.
And after the president threatened steep tariffs, Colombia's president has agreed to take back deported migrants.
Good morning, Deshani and Dan. The two sides seeming to come to an agreement last night. The Colombian president even at one point offering up his own plane to ensure that migrants are returned receiving a dignified return. But let's talk about the background of all of this, because the standoff between the two nations began yesterday after President Gustavo Petro rejected two Colombia-bound U.S. military aircraft carrying migrants. Petro posted to X in Spanish, "A migrant is not a criminal and must be treated with the dignity human beings deserve. That is why I returned the military American planes that were coming carrying Colombian migrants." But that decision sparked retaliatory measures from the Trump administration, including visa restrictions, 25% tariffs on all Colombian incoming goods, which would be raised to 50% in 1 week, and more. Trump said the measures were necessary because Petro's actions jeopardize national security in the U.S. and used them as a warning to other nations who might seek to impede his plans. Later in the day, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted a statement to social media saying the government of Colombia has agreed to all of President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft, without limitation or delay. The tariffs are now on hold. It's all part of Trump's campaign pledge to carry out the largest deportation operation in history.
President Donald Trump is claiming victory after Colombia relented in a standoff over flights carrying deported migrants. The dispute began over the weekend when Colombia's president refused to let two U.S. military planes with repatriated migrants on board land in his country. He accused the U.S. of treating Colombian migrants like criminals. Well, the Trump administration then threatened steep tariffs on Colombian imports, and Colombia's president pushed back with his own tariff threats. But by Sunday evening, the White House said Colombia had agreed to, quote, all of President Trump's terms. Colombia's foreign minister had this to say.
The Colombian government reports that we have overcome the impasse with the government of the United States. The government of Colombia, under the direction of President Gustavo Petro, has the presidential plane ready to facilitate the return of the compatriots who were to arrive in the country today in the morning on deportation flights.
This deportation crisis strains U.S.-Colombia relations, potentially impacting trade, diplomatic ties, and broader cooperation in this region. This also connects to the larger conversation about immigration policy in the Americas and globally. What are the long-term consequences of these deportations? How will this affect the lives of those returned to Colombia? And what does this mean for the future of immigration policy and international cooperation? This is an ongoing story, and we will continue to provide updates as more information comes to light. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates on the story and other important news. I'll be sure to keep you informed as the situation develops. Thanks for watching.